Hello YouTube, I just wanted to give you an update on my bike now. I've had it for, I don't know, about a month and a half right now. Can't stop doing stuff to it, but you know, that's just the nature of owning a bike, it seems. As you can see, I pulled off some of the stickers, not all of them. That's because the decal on the tank is actually underneath the clear coat. So you can't pull it off without sanding down the clear coat, and so it's a lot of work. So all that red and black right there, it's pretty much stuck on there. And I thought this decal here looked pretty good with it, but the black and white paint spatter section over here and on the tail I thought looked terrible, like something out of the 80s, so I went ahead and peeled that off. And I really do think it looks pretty sharp now. Nice and clean. And maybe I'll get a black seat cowl for the back that'll cover it up. But I've already ridden two up with my wife, and so I don't know, maybe I won't get a seat cowl because it's a lot of fun taking her out, and hopefully one day she's just going to take this bike over as her own. Just want to give you a walk around right now. So that pearl paint is really beautiful, and it's nice to be able to show it off a little more by peeling those decals off. Maybe you'll also notice that I got some rear spools so I can jack the bike up. I didn't get a stand yet, but I'm trying to hold off so that I can maybe ask for one for my birthday or something like that, instead of just keep buying stuff for myself. Because then my birthday rolls around and I don't know what to ask for because I have everything. So I'm probably hold off on a few mods until that comes around. But as you can see, if you have a pair of jack stands, you can go ahead and put your bike up on that just as easily to do the same sort of maintenance. Well, not just as easily. It's a little tricky, but you get your bike up on there, and you can do your chain maintenance, you can do your tire stuff. I mean, it would have been handy when I was doing my frame sliders, but now they're on there. I got them from Harbor Freight. And I think they were like $5.99, and the Kawasaki's use 10mm rear spools. And if you read Popular Science or Popular Mechanics, I don't remember which one it is, they have like a 20% off coupon for one item in the back. You just grab one of those, rip that page out, and go in and pick them up. Ends up being less than $5. Totally worth it. Okay, and so here's that rear fender I chopped off. I was going back and forth on it, debating whether or not I should, and I found an OEM one, intact, used, on eBay for 15 bucks. So I picked it up, and it was perfect, so I just put that one away in case I messed this up or if I wanted to return it to stock. So this is the one that was on the bike. I went ahead and chopped it off. There's details for how to do this online, and all the parts that are used to mount the frame are actually part of the original fender. Maybe I'll pull that other fender out so you can see it, but it's really neat. And I just cut it, and then I use the little torch to melt the edge to give it a nice clean edge. Over here you can see the plate lights. These are LED side emitting plate lights from eBay. The cheapest ones I can get in black. And I'm pretty sure they were about $3 or less for two, shipped. And it took about 2 weeks coming from China. And here, I don't know if you can see it, but I got a nice little braid, a little wire protector, and that's from some computer stuff I've been doing. You know, I built a custom computer, so I sleeved all my fans. That's some extra sleeving I had left over, and heat shrink and all that other jazz. I put it together like this to keep the wires looking nice and clean. It wasn't necessary because the wires were protected, but you know, if anyone came over here and wanted to have a look at how the lights were hooked up, I thought this would be a little more interesting. People can take a look at that and go, oh yeah, there's a little extra detail that you don't normally get. So let me go ahead and pop the trunk. Actually, here, let's go ahead and light that up so you can see it. there it is all lit up. Let me cover that tail light. And that's the side emitters, lighting that up. Looks really good. Of course, it's a little bright in here, so it's hard to get an idea. And the tail light also lights it up. But it's like a formality, you know. State law says you need to have white lights on your license plate, yada yada. So that's what that's all about. Plus, it's one more thing to throw on there, a little more LEDs. And who doesn't like more LEDs on their toys? Okay, so let me pop the trunk and I can show you something else I did. Gonna have to set you guys down so I can get my other hand. Okay, so back to the trunk. Oh no. There we go, now we're focusing. What the heck? Okay, so in the trunk here, I went out to eat with some friends, and I had leftovers, and I had no way of bringing it home. Wouldn't fit in the trunk. It was actually just a pie from a 3-course meal over at Fridays. You know, we went out drinking, had the 3-course meals, loaded up on appetizers because everyone got the 3-course meal, and so we had a bunch of food left over. The only thing I cared to bring home was my appetizer. They bagged it up for me, and I tried to shove it underneath the windscreen there, and then riding on the way home, it just popped out. So kind of unsafe. I had to grab it and hold it with my left hand, my clutch hand, try and work the clutch lever at the same time as holding the pie. So yeah, that sucked. I made it home, shook the pie up quite a bit, but I made it home in one piece. So next day, I went over to Walmart and picked these things up. They're little straps. They're little straps from the camping supply section, and they're useful for like backpacks, replacement straps, tying down luggage together or whatever. But what I'm using them for is to hold stuff down. And what I can do is put the seat back on here and then set whatever item I want on top of the seat. Then these straps unclick and adjust. And this can go over that side, click onto that strap, crisscross, and then back and forth, and I can cinch stuff down real tight, and I can carry real big items. I grabbed a really big box that I had sitting around in my garage filled with books, strapped it on the back of the bike, and I could actually tilt the bike up from the kickstand just pushing on the box. So that's how tightly this stuff holds, and I figure it'll come in handy. And for the most part, it's completely out of the way when I'm not using it, because there's all this room in the sides that isn't normally used for anything. So tuck that back in there. And it basically just seems like it pulls out of nowhere when I'm ready to use it. And I actually haven't had any reason to use it yet because I've been smart enough to bring my backpack with me most of the time. You know, so carrying an empty backpack is very useful when you're riding on a motorcycle. If you forget it, I also picked up one of these doohickeys, which is a stowable backpack, also from the camping section from Walmart. And I can just open that up, throw whatever I want. That would have helped me out for that dessert debacle that I had the other day. I could have thrown that in there. And then a spare helmet bag. So I got crap loads of storage available to me, and that's not going anywhere. I've ridden quite a few hundred miles with that stuff tucked away, and nothing, quite a few hundred. Okay, about 150 miles with that stuff tucked away, and it hasn't gone anywhere. So that's that. And then a couple last things. Since I commute to work on the bike, I need to know what time it is. Make sure I'm making good time. I just got a watch. Took the straps off, and it's basically zip tied on there. I went through the original mounting posts that came on the watch, fed a zip tie through. Ooh, dropped you. Maybe I'll edit that. Anyway, fed a zip tie through and then just cinched it down. And now I have a watch, and it's got a little EL button right on the top. So at dusk, when I'm riding to work, or dawn, when I'm riding back, I can hit the button and see what time it is. And then, oh yeah, LED gauge lights. Probably not going to see it too well since it's pretty well lit in here. But maybe you can tell it's slightly blue. Does a good job of lighting everything up at night. And yeah, that neutral light is killer bright. Hard to miss. Much brighter than stock. Let me hold that down so you can see the gauges. So, putting some miles on, not too many. It's been terribly cold here. I've been riding anyway, which is probably why I have the cough I've been trying to hold back. But yeah, it's warming up, and I'll get a chance to ride, you know, soon enough. Oops, there we go. So, and that's pretty much all I've done so far. Still loving the bike, getting good fuel economy. Really liking the way it looks without those stickers. I thought those stickers looked terrible. And this is beautiful. It's almost what I'd want. I mean, I think I'd like it completely without the decals, but these decals, you know, give it a little sportiness. Gives it sort of like a rally racing, you know, car style vibe to it, if that makes any sense. Without detracting from this new beautiful white color they gave us this year from Kawasaki. I don't know what else I plan on doing with the bike. You know, you don't really have to do anything to it when you first get it. they ride just fine. I mean, when I ride 2-up with the wife, all I had to do was adjust the rear spring a little more, the preload, so that it could support the additional weight. But you know, I'm like 180, the wife is a $120, and between the two of us, you know, we're just over 300 with our gear on the bike. It rides just fine, and she's a perfect passenger. You could barely tell she's on there at all, except for when you're stopping and she's putting her hands on my lower back to brace herself. I wouldn't know she was there any more than me carrying my backpack to and from work. Yeah. So like I was saying, the bikes, the 250 works great, you know, off the showroom floor. It rides perfectly. There's no need to do any mods, but it's, you know, it's hard to resist, you know, making it look better in your opinion. So this looks better to me. It doesn't ride any better. It has a few additional features that I think are nice. But anyone who has a 250 who likes doing mods, you know, you got to realize that it's just for your own preference. What you really need to do with these bikes is get out there and ride it. And of course, if the weather was fine, if the weather was better, that's what I'd be doing. I wouldn't be sitting here slapping stuff on the bike. I'd be putting some miles on it. I'd like to see how many thousands of miles I can put on this bike before I get rid of it, or actually before I get my next bike. So that's really my goal. All in all, I'm really pleased with the way it looks. If you have any ideas for what I should do, you know, throw it up there. I'd love to hear what you guys think. I probably won't do anything soon, but you know, I'll make a list for sure of things I'd like to get done. All right, but thank you so much for watching my my video, and take it easy.